Today we're going to explore composition. We're going to use still life and thumbnail studies to explore different possibilities. So what I did is I chose a still life. I chose these objects because, number one, they have sort of a theme. I was thinking sort of reading a book and having a snack. Also, I like these objects because they will give me an opportunity to experiment with lighting. I can experiment with perspective in the book, and I can practice drawing a symmetrical object with the cup, and then the apple gives me a natural object in there as well. I'm going to start by making a series of thumbnail studies. The purpose of making thumbnail studies is to explore composition. So there's different ways to go about that, but I'm going to start just by making a drawing freehand to figure out what a good composition might be. So I'm drawing very quickly just to get the basic objects in there. I'm not worried about drawing them perfectly right now, just putting them in, put the background in. And once I feel like I have them into the drawing in a very basic way, enough so I can see the placement of the objects, now I can start thinking about where would I want the picture to end. I can sort of draw in where I would like the end of the paper to be, maybe something like this, right? Or if I don't like that, I can sort of erase my line. Maybe I'd want it to go higher like this. And this would be the composition. Maybe instead I'd want to zoom in, and I could bring these lines much closer like this. So I can start to make decisions about what would be the perfect composition for my drawing. Once I get that in there, I can go back and start to refine these a little bit, just so I have a better understanding of what my drawing would look like if I make a larger finished drawing. There's my apple. I'm drawing the book in a little bit more here. I might even start to think about shading a little bit. This would be the dark side of those objects, the dark side of the book. And again, I'm just putting this in as quickly as I can just to get a general idea of what the composition would look like. Got a shadow in the background. I'm using this viewfinder as a way to compose my setup. So I can use it just like a camera, like where I can sort of pan back by holding it closer to me, or I can zoom in. I can zoom in really close. I can turn it on the side for horizontal format. And I'll just zoom in until I find something that I'd like to draw. I found a composition that I like, and now I'm going to draw it using a thumbnail study. So I'm going to start by making the same rectangle, same type of rectangle that's in my viewfinder. Something like this is pretty close. And now, take another look in my viewfinder and start to figure out where the parts belong. The top of the book is right here, and the edge of the cup is just about in the center of my viewfinder. And like we did before, this is a really good time to put in some cast shadows, put in some of the darks and lights, because that's an important part of the composition. Now that I have it in here, I can refine it a little bit. And there's my second idea for a composition. So now I'm using my homemade viewfinder. What I really like is a composition a little bit tighter, but I get all the objects, maybe something like that. Let's do a thumbnail of this. So I recommend doing a lot of thumbnail studies until you find a composition that you really like. I did 3 here. I experimented with zooming in and panning out. This is a vertical format versus a horizontal format. In the end, I think I like this composition the best. Nothing is really centered. Things go off the page, and when they come to the edge of the page, I think they sort of do that in a really nice way. It's not sort of an awkward position, like too close to the edge without going off. So this is the composition I like. This is the composition I'll try to make a larger drawing of.